What up, everybody? Welcome back to Pro Publications YouTube channel. This channel I talk about zines and DIY publishing, and today I want to flip through the Death Ray by Daniel Clowes. It's probably my first introduction to him. Definitely always dig the art, and he also has this pop art style that I like a lot. So this was published originally in Drawn and Quarterly, and this is the compilation of it. And this is some of the stuff probably why I like so many panels. It just reads well. I like that double page spread right there. Look at this one. So this is like a superhero adjacent story, and I love it because it's real subversive in that it almost reads more like a supervillain coming of age story than it does a superhero story. But it kind of shows you how there's a very thin line between, you know, what we consider a superhero versus a supervillain. And a lot of times the supervillain thinks he's the superhero, and the superhero may really be the supervillain. And I think that's one of the thematic things that he's playing with in this, and that's the subtext of like giving youth power, and would they be able to manage that power, right? Because you'll read a lot of comics, especially mainstream comics, something like Shazam, for instance, Blue Beetle, Spider-Man. All these people grab great power when they're real young, and the assumption is that they're going to be these great benevolent heroes. If you've ever met a kid, you know that kids are not always the nicest, sweetest, you know, not very considerate to other folks. And this is a prime example of that. But yeah, man, I love these page layouts. Love this superhero costume, because speaking of Spider-Man, I'm wondering if Daniel Clowes was thinking about Spider-Man with this, but like even this suit looks almost very Spider-Man-ish, very Ditko-ish at least. And actually at that, a lot of his line work over here reminds me of Ditko's later work. A lot of this reminds me of Ditko stuff too. So, I'm sure he's a fan. Who's not a fan of Ditko? This is one of those things of like, there's been a lot of Daniel Clowes movie adaptations, and I'm surprised that this is not one of them, because it's super good and refreshing, especially for right now. They're talking about superhero fatigue. This would be something to make. And you see this? Tell me that doesn't look like a Spider-Man. Blue and red. That can't just be coincidence, can it? I don't know. I think that Daniel Clowes is one of those creators that's very, very methodical and pays attention to the details. So I definitely think that that was on purpose, and trying to get you to understand this idea of like, it's a superhero adjacent story reminiscent of a Peter Parker type character, and them not always being the best of people. But if you've never read this, you should definitely pick this up. It's one of my favorite Daniel Clowes books, and once again, it was my introduction to Daniel Clowes. And after that, I went searching for more and more and more Daniel Clowes work, and I've liked every single thing I've gotten from him. With my favorite book being Patience, which was his last book. And this year we got him releasing Monica, which I think is going to be amazing. I don't even know what it is about, but it's the latest coming from him, so I'm sure it's going to be great. If you could believe it, I found this for $10. So if you haven't peeped this out, try to get your hands on it. Well worth the read. But don't forget, you guys, that I also publish a comic book zine anthology called Feral Comics, with underground subversive cartooning from myself and other creators. Sounds like something you might want to pick up. Link will be in the show notes for you guys to peep them out. Alright, guys, thanks for watching. Lates.